First order of business, approval of minutes of the previous meeting of 11/6/2024.
I move the minutes be approved as written.
Second.
Any
This
changes?
is the revised version.
Corrections, deletions, anything? So none, those in favor?
Yeah. I think the only difference was there was a name misspelled, correct?
Pretty much, yeah, I think that was it.
Selectmen's comments, we'll start.
It was 5 o'clock in the morning. How do we-
I have one thing to share. So Jason and I, over the weekend, spent some time looking at that emergency action plan that we commissioned through that grant. And
The one that Brian wrote?
The one that Brian wrote, yeah. And so it, front page has a place for the select board to all sign their approval to adopt it, and there are a couple of blanks in it. And so I was wondering if we might want to have a little workshop with the select board and maybe invite some, have Danny and Sean and maybe somebody from the public safety committee, or I don't know, whoever the right people are, to help us polish it off and get it ready so that we can approve it maybe the first of the year.
Okay.
I certainly think all 5 of us should be involved if we're all 5 of us going to sign it, yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we need, and I don't think it's not a giant undertaking. I think it's just, Jason and I went through the whole thing in about, half hour, and it wasn't too.
It's like 40 pages, but most of it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Why don't we plan a half an hour before our next select board meeting?
Sure, yeah.
We can speak
Maybe.
to that. I'll bring it up when it comes.
Okay, so anyway, so I would suggest we do that maybe in the middle of December or something.
Yeah. Will that work for you guys?
We could do a little legwork ahead of time. You guys have read it, right?
You're in it quite a bit. You're in it quite a bit.
Yep.
So we
First meeting, I thought you guys don't have a second meeting.
We
I
don't
will
usually
be-
have a
I
second
will be-
meeting in December.
I will
Okay,
be
so it'll
out
be the
of
first
town.
meeting then?
No.
So what is the second, third, fourth?
That's the 4th is the first.
First meeting.
Okay. But that's my only thing.
So you want to do it for December 4th now, so you'll be here,
I will be
and you
here.
guys can be here.
Okay.
Yeah, because the second one would be the 18th, which is just a week before Christmas. So we normally only meet once on.
What's that?
Let's do it at 4 o'clock maybe?
December 4th?
Okay.
December 4th.
Okay.
December 4th at 4 o'clock.
Does that work?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's the 5th, we're gonna be up here the 5th, but.
Okay. Alice?
That's it for me.
I guess I have 4 things, real quick. Veterans Day, thanks everybody who participated. Frank did a great job with the flag and music, and everything was great. We all appreciated that.
And Mike Field was a good speaker.
Mike Field was a great speaker.
Very good job, yeah.
He did a great job. Tommy and I went to groundbreaking for the Tedford housing. It was really well attended. Speakers from there was federal money, feds, and representatives from the community and whatnot. I can't read like I said, I'm going to miss the 2nd December meeting. And then finally, there are things in the works on proposed changes to county budgeting. So I will.
Good thing?
There's proposals. So anyway, I'll be back in touch with Kate Dufort and the May to sort of figure out it. The payment is in statute. The budgeting part, I think, varies by county. And so, to be honest, I'm reluctant to put in a bill that sort of makes statewide changes, right? Because not every county is the same. But she and I are going to talk in a week and see if, what the options are.
Well, you look at Cumberland County, there's what, 300 and some thousand people live in Cumberland County, 9 people vote on the budget. Why shouldn't everybody have a crack at it?
Well, I don't disagree. I'm just, as somebody who believes strongly in home rule, I'm reluctant to impose the same statewide rule. One size doesn't fit
I
all.
don't see how you could put in a bill that would pertain to just one county.
No, well, we may not even need legislation. I'm gonna talk to her. So it may just be something that we have to do internally. But anyway, I'm working on it.
All right, thank you. Okay.
That's it.
Last time we met, we all praised it, how the town, how this election went and everything, and I thought everything went well. But since then, I've gotten some feedback about how many people don't like ranked choice voting. Anybody else getting anything?
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, people are confused, they don't know if they voted correctly and don't know if their vote got counted.
As people were getting their ballots, registering to vote and getting their ballots, there were comments.
There was,
Yeah.
Confusion.
I think it's an educational, it's definitely an educational thing.
in the second district, there was the race between, the two, senators.
Golden and Terrio.
Yeah, Terrell and what's his name?
Jared Golden, yeah.
Golden.
Yeah.
There was thousands of people that had no first choice under ranked choice.
That was, I mean, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be changes to it. I think if a ballot is completely blank, it shouldn't count towards the total, right? But I think in that situation, what I've just learned is that people, the first choice was empty, but they put they indicated a second choice, and it's like, well, why don't, if that's your choice, why don't you put that as your first choice?
It's because they don't understand it.
Well, so, yeah, I agree. I think
It's
there's.
convoluted
Yeah.
and they don't understand it.
My personal opinion, the whole thing's a farce. The guy that gets the most votes won. I got a kick out of Golden being upset that it went to ranked choice voting because that's how he beat Poliquin, right? Poliquin got more votes than he did, but he ended up winning because he was the second choice to a lot of people, okay? And then he turned around and he was upset that this wasn't ranked choice. And I was hoping so badly that he would lose the same way Poliquin did. So he could see what it felt like to come out being the winner on the day of the election, but lose it a week later. And that's galls me to no end. I don't care. The guy that gets the most votes won. No, that's my opinion. Anyways, anything else?
That's all I got.
Jason?
Just two things. If you guys notice outside, there are some new signs up with a crosswalk, they're freestanding.
Those are nice.
Well, I think you need to thank Kim for that. Kim was, that's what I want to say, is Kim dealt with DOT and some application grant process or whatever it is, and we got it. She brought him in, or went and got him, and Nick and I met up with her. And obviously, when the road gets done someday, it's wider, it would be more effective in the center, but we just thought we'd put them out for a few weeks
That's great.
till we plow, but they look good, and
Yeah.
we got one crosswalk.
They work tonight.
We've got more, but we don't have any more crosswalks.
Yeah, but neither of us were in the crosswalk, David.
Yeah.
No, when I came back,
Okay.
in the crosswalk, and they actually worked. The guy actually stopped. This is the first time that's happened.
Yeah.
Do
Before-
they blink?
No.
But they're reflectors,
But they're
so
very-
your headlights.
Same thing on Front Street in Bath, same thing on downtown Augusta or whatever. So they will be effective. but
Some
the-
places, they blink when there's
Yeah.
somebody in the crosswalk.
The road's not wide enough right now to put it in the center because they'll run over it, but.
Yeah.
The only other thing is this may not be all great news, is I did talk to Doug Coombs again yesterday. He's the project engineer, DOT working on the white and that, and it keeps kind of changing, so they've got all their design stuff, they've done some right-of-way stuff, I don't know if anybody knows, but they were out here surveying.
Yeah,
They're getting very close to doing the public comment part, or
For the intersection.
well, the intersection
The whole thing.
and the whole
Oh,
thing,
okay.
yeah. The only thing is, he said it takes 12 to 14 months to go through right away afterwards. So he's, in the email, he said, it looks like it'll go to bid in early 26. And I'm like, no, you meant early 25. And he goes, no. And it's like, we were told next summer, we were told it was maybe later, then he told me it was back. And I'm not trying to be rough with him, but it's like,
But they own 175-foot swath all.
I know, I can't imagine what
The
takes.
only right of way would be us.
I know, I can't imagine what takes a year to go through right away. So he knew that it was a little, so he wrote at the bottom, he said, look, this is a priority, we'll do we get it the fastest we can, but I do, we convey to the people, because what we were told that later next summer. In that discussion, I think some of you have seen that Kim received a notification they're going to be paving Route 1 next summer. Don't ask. So it says, I don't know who was it, Tommy and I and Kim, or David and I and Kim, or somebody, but
Nick.
Nick. It took 15 minutes to figure it out, because the way they worded it,
Yeah.
starting 296 feet, 3 inches from Cumberland Farms, and it would stop where Reed just paved the new Station 46, then start,
Oh, God.
247, it's like
All the way to the
point something
Asset line?
miles to George Wright Road.
To
And
the
then,
bridge,
then
it's the railroad bridge.
well, that's like it skips the light area is what I kind of thought I saw, but maybe I'm wrong. And then it goes to the railroad bridge. It doesn't do all of Woolwich. It will not do from the railroad bridge down by the Montswig, but it will stop at the bridge by the flea
You mean
market.
we're just past, Montswig?
But you go beyond your road,
Okay.
it'll stop on the south end of that, or
Okay.
whatever, that bridge. It does not
Okay.
go to the town line.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's gonna
The
happen.
flea market would be.
That's up for next year.
Well, if you remember, a few years ago, they striped 128 and then paved it
Yeah.
the next week.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, Allison, this is maybe something for the state rep too or something, or us, but boy, this is really, really important that they get this
Yeah.
intersection and
I
like.
can't believe that they take any time from to figure out the right of way. They own a 175-foot wide strip, so they obviously are all set out there.
Yeah.
And as far as the rest of it goes, it's us.
Weren't you all at the meeting last summer with DOT? Remember that?
Yeah.
We do it this way because we do it this way because this is the way we do it. We don't do it any other way. I'm not necessarily, personally, Route 1 could be okay for another year. I mean, but because they do it every,
It would be kind of fun to see them have this all torn up when they were gonna pave it.
oh, they probably will. Don't worry about it. Anyway.
You didn't get a, but is he gonna get back to you?
Well, remember, he's a project engineer, he's not the,
Yeah.
so I just keep bugging him every 4 to
Okay.
6 weeks, and I tell him we have a meeting, and I wanna update the board as to where we're at, and he knows our project's done. I called him when we started it, and said, Doug, we're ready, come on down, start.
Okay.
And so, it's important to keep.
Is there any issues of right of way down on the George Wright?
No, we own everything,
Yeah.
Allison, it's all right, Woolwich, left Woolwich, roads Woolwich, the other side of Woolwich.
Okay.
No, there's nothing.
And we're not talking about like the other side of George Wright.
And I reemphasize that we bought the property across the street because they are, I think, a little concerned about slopes. When
Yeah.
they push out for a turn lane and
Yeah.
slope, but it doesn't matter, Town of Woolwich.
Yeah.
Including on the
I don't think
other
they're
side
gonna,
of Route 1?
well, the other side, we're not centered. The road's not quite
They
centered.
they might, impact the museum. I mean.
I think we were told though that that corner wasn't going to be a problem. But anyway,
That's what we were told.
we were told, I think maybe someday,
That was then.
yeah, I won't talk further, but maybe someday later in
They own
winter.
right
we
up to
should-
where our sign is. I mean, our sign is on that property. So, I mean, they can.
That is true.
They could hack off half your banking and.
Maybe later in January, or
Less than
the
miles.
smoke clears, we can.
Oh,
That's it.
Well, hopefully they'll get it done this year, this coming year.
That's it.
I have nothing tonight. Public comments, Debbie?
There is a new display in the case downstairs in the office. You might want to check out what ice skates looked like before they were lit on boots. The time they
Wow.
could attach to shoes and boots, and
Wow.
old pair of snowshoes.
In the case, there's an old pair of snowshoes?
Yeah,
Well,
You
had to take out a shoe.
Okay. Ah, cool.
All right, Kim, town administrator's report.
So Midcoast came to fix the heat pump and they replaced the circuit board. And then once the circuit board was installed, they realized that there were further problems with it because they needed the circuit board to figure out that some blower or something. So they have to go and order more parts. I don't know how much more expensive that's going to be. I have not got the quote back on that. I also have informed Kristen about updating the personnel policy that you all approved, and she just sent back a copy of the Town of New Gloucester that they had worked on. It's a 68-page personnel policy, so I'm going to email it to you. You guys can peruse it at your convenience. I think there's some things that can be eliminated, but it does address the paid family medical leave and a lot of other issues. So if you guys want to look over it and see what what you like and what you don't like, and we can kind of format it and update it so we can get our personnel policy updated to more recent.
Do you propose us all
Laws and
getting, do you propose that we all get in the same room at some point?
Yeah, I mean, it's a
I mean,
68-page
no, I mean-
document, but yeah.
I mean, I know you're
Let's take
aware.
a look at it and see like how complicated the changes might
Maybe
be.
there's some wholesale.
It might be
things.
easy to just sort of do it by email.
How many pages is ours?
Like 5.
Yeah, it's like,
Okay. I can read it while I'm
Well,
on
does it,
vacation.
Kim, does the new one that she sent over have like combined a lot of stuff from our other policies too, like
Oh, yeah.
workplace use of cell phones and, you know, stuff like that? It's not redundant of anything we already
No,
have?
there's something in there about, computer use and stuff like that, but nothing that, yeah, it's not all combined. But you can look at it, there's, like I said, there's a lot of things that you can eliminate from it,
Could you,
that we
could you
probably.
go on your listserv and maybe get 6 or 8 others from other towns?
Well, I sent her the Town of Unions, which I thought was good, and she, came back and said that, you know, she was unaware of the lawyer, the attorney that did that. So she just sent along the Town of New Gloucester's that
I mean,
they
maybe,
get done. But I can go and look and see it's some other towns. But yeah, this
It
one's
seems that
very
there must be a happy
significant.
difference between 5
5 pages and 68,
pages.
yeah.
Well, does it-
It's extreme, but I have to say the paid family medical leave,
Yeah.
there's pages of it that explains what they qualify for and how the whole
Oh, that's-
process works. So it does explain
do you see,
a lot in there.
do you see it easy to pare down? I mean, you see a lot of things quickly that like, nope.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then
Yeah.
maybe if as she said before, that if the work's been done, it will save us a fortune.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us want 68 pages.
No, but I'll let you guys look at it, I'll send it to you guys. Let's see, just following up on the MMA workplace violations, David, where are you with those things?
I've got to bring a screwdriver and 2 screws down and I'll take care of the fish house. I will do it,
Okay.
I'll try to do it tomorrow.
All right, and then what about the old townhouse? The stairs, I guess, or something like that is,
What's wrong with the stairs?
The railing is 2 inches too low on the stairs. And I copied, that's a historic building, so that's the 3rd set of stairs I've built for this. And I've always built them exactly like the ones that were on it when I built the first set, okay? Because I figured I couldn't change anything, so, but the railings are 2 inches too low.
which we get an inspection done every year.
And this is the first time
year, every
First
year
time-
they find
first time
something
anybody
new.
ever-
Put a 2x4.
I know, exactly, put
Every
it on
year.
edge, you know, or, yeah,
I
or,
mean, I hate to go up and just patch, you know,
No,
I
put
can
another-
move them
put
up
it
2 inches easily, but it's gonna look like I did it.
no, put a 2x right on
You got
top of
another
it.
top rail?
Extra top.
I mean, I know that's a kind of full before top rail.
Is it just a 2x4 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
guys
gotta
remember.
look and see what the required height.
Yeah.
See, they get you in a hard
Because a
spot.
2x4
I've
isn't
built,
gonna be
I've
2
built
inches.
several handicap ramps for different people and everything, and they say 32 to 36 inches. These are 32 inches up, but he says that's not high enough. So,
Gee.
I'll see if I can figure out how,
Yeah.
did he say how much too low they are, or did he just say they're too low?
I have the information downstairs, I can't
Okay,
remember
all
what
right.
it says
Because
exactly,
I'll
but,
check with you, because I think he told me
Yeah.
they were 2
Have
inches
to
too
pick
low.
it.
yeah, and
And
then
if
just.
they are, you're
the-
right, I could put a,
Wow.
I could put a 2x4.
They
on
suggested
top of the
that.
existing one and call it good, you know?
Yeah.
But
And
that
then
would
just
only
the-
make me an inch
yeah.
and 3/8.
Fire extinguisher in the kitchen.
I've walked by it 5 times, I keep forgetting about it.
So I can
just
take a
wrote-
picture,
I
take
wrote
a
it down.
picture and send
I
it
wrote it
along.
down. I wrote it down.
Well, that's the trouble, they make you
Yeah.
respond and you did it.
Yes, I
So-
know.
Fish house.
Yeah, fish house and stairs, and those are the only 2. I've got the basement taken care of, which you put the signs on there, David, thank you.
Yeah,
And then the, violation in the back office.
also, we've got a couple of loose planks again on the thing out there, the ramp out there, and I meant to bring my screw gun and some
I saw
screws
Dale the
tonight.
other day, he was in and he said he has not forgotten about it and he is going to get it
Well, he
taken care of, but he
hasn't forgotten
doesn't
about the old
know.
townhouse either, that
Yeah,
doesn't have any
Yeah,
travelers
so
on
I
it,
don't know when he's.
If you remember, he's
planning
gonna
to
put
do
a new, the deck structure is all good, put new deck boards on, and then of course, at some point, it's gonna get painted gray or something.
But in the meantime, I gotta stick a
Right,
couple screws
right.
screws up there.
Might not be till after winter
Planks-
now.
Planks they're sticking up, somebody could trip on them.
Yeah.
that. Okay. Yeah, and just the last thing I wanna say is I wanna, thank Danny because he always seems to, think of the office staff, he always brings in little treats and anytime there's, you know, it's always a little pick-me-up. He's always, he's.
She's looking at us.
No.
No, I got
No,
you.
Allison brought in chocolates the other day.
Yeah.
Yes,
What is
We
it?
checked the
But no,
top,
Danny-
the
Danny
guys
always-
forget to check the
it's
door.
very much
We
appreciated.
have to have fun.
I know, but I know, thank you.
We got one in the office and, one in the office and then there's one over in the church. And I don't think that one's been checked in a long time.
Yeah.
What, the fire extinguisher?
Fire extinguishers, yeah, we're
We
supposed to
just
check,
had those checked
we're supposed to have them checked.
Did they do the check?
monthly. Oh, well, we had the state come down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but somebody's supposed to walk around monthly and just.
No.
They write on the tag.
Right on the tag.
Yeah, okay, that's all I had.
Maybe put 6 or 8 dates on what they want.
Yeah.
Don't say that
I
on
didn't say
camera.
that.
I was just gonna say that.
I didn't say that.
We don't do that.
No. That's it?
That's it.
Road commissioner is not here. Codes enforcement, do I have one?
You
See, I do. CEO.
The road commissioner contacted you, right?
He did. He
Okay.
called and asked, and said that everything was going well, so
Okay.
good job.
Since November 6th, he has issued 4 building permits, 2 principal dwellings, 1 accessory structure, and 1 residential solar. Also 3 plumbing permits, 2 internal and 1 accepted. Birchwood Road, received a call about traffic in the neighborhood and advised that a home occupation for a daycare was approved by Maine. Contacting the residents regarding the home occupation, I learned that it's not operating yet. They're still waiting for a couple of items. There is construction for a build nearby and the traffic may be the cause of the complaint. I have a concern about this, I gotta talk to Mike about it. My understanding is they're gonna run that daycare out of a yurt. They're gonna put a yurt up down there with a Renai heater in it. I know back when I was on the planning board, you had to have a 1-hour burn-proof enclosure around any heat source, right? I don't see how they can use a canvas yurt with.
Well, how do you know,
Renai.
it may not be
Maybe
canvas,
wood or.
it may be wood.
Even a wooden yurt.
Well, I would
They can
think
have a
this-
Renai heater in it with no.
But with the state, before they,
Well, it's gotta be, it's gotta be state approved.
Supposedly, well, from what I've been told, the young lady has all her state
Yeah.
permits. I don't know how you can have your state permits before you even have the space to put it in. Anyway, so,
the only thing I can say about that, David, is my wife, my first wife years ago, we did do all that, as you all know. And there was quite a bit to it. They came down, inspected before you got it, there was quite a bit to it. I don't know if it's the same as it used to be, but even if you,
so I don't understand how they can have the state permits before they even have the
Yeah.
structure to do.
Maybe it's just a preliminary.
well, you might get permits, but you can't take anybody until,
Right.
but, I don't
All
know.
right, Murphy Corner Road, received a complaint about a mobile home that is in disrepair. Found the home and it is definitely uninhabitable and in ruins. The personal representative of the property has been contacted, but no response. I have a couple more attempts and then consider further action. That's that trailer.
It's got trees on it and,
Yeah.
Yeah, that is getting kinda,
Yeah,
And I will say publicly, Mike's doing a heck of a good job. He's very responsive. He doesn't have set hours, but he meets people here basically whenever they can be here. I was here one night, 7 o'clock at night, and he was meeting somebody here. EMS director, Danny.
I accidentally wrote October on the paper, but in November, we've had 23 calls so far. So we're still doing our at least one a day. 22 patients, 17 transported. And the youngest one was 4 weeks old. The MC one, we called for assistance. I don't know why I wrote one there. I can do that. 3 times. We went to Westport Island for Wiscasset once and to Arousik once for rehab of a fire. Vehicles, rescue one, we have to repair a rear door latch that keeps the door open because otherwise it gives us concussions when it swings back and hits us. So had to repair that. It just came off, had to manufacture a part. The power load system in rescue one, and I asked Jason about this before I told the guy to go ahead. Because the railing was gotten used, it was over 10 years old and the battery was just not holding a charge. They're motorcycle batteries with proprietary connections, so instead of $80, they're $900 each, plus the tech fee. So I called just to make sure we needed to do it, so that's repaired now.
David and I were together that day that he,
And that's working well, and it's repaired, so it will actually load. I haven't gotten the bill for it yet with the final amount, but, the both rescues will be going in soon to have their winter tires put on, so I'm sending them into Greenwood to do that. And, also training, I've been in contact with the state. There's a virtual reality pediatrics training. The state owns these virtual reality classes that connect to a computer and have these pediatric scenarios. And Mark Meekler, the head of PEDS for Maine EMS, is happy to bring those in and do a training for us, which would be really interesting and high tech, and it costs us nothing. So, and also mandatory reporter training. Every provider is a mandatory reporter for abuse, adult and child. So that's an annual training people need to have. And so I'm in contact with people to bring that in as well. Things I didn't put on the paper that I just forgot. The AED, I have 3 possible grants that we can apply to. Some of them, they give like 1 away a month. Some are corporate type things. I'll have to talk to someone and to actually file that stuff, but I have found these. AEDs right now, the kind we're looking at with the wall box and everything else, they're only about $1,200. So if we don't get a grant, I would bring it up that we somehow find from building funds or tell me to buy one to have it down there. These other, these grants, they'll also offer training and stuff, but we can do that in-house, so we don't have to look for a bigger grant or a bigger amount, and there wouldn't be any extra if the town outright bought one. And the Phillips Heart Start, the easy ones to use, $1,200 right now. They often has themselves, we'll bring it to that. And so because people asked about this before, the batteries last 4 years. And they run about $190 each, and the pads run about $79, $80 or currently. So that would be every 4 years, $250 or so to replace those. Unless their pads are used, then you buy a new pad. So, and that comes with signage and cabinets and everything else. So that's, and I have the 3 possible grants for it. A lot of them are limited to nonprofits or schools or things like that. So, municipalities are eligible for them. Also, Tommy, I think, sent to the town attorney a new patient refusal form just to make sure it's all kosher and up to, so that nobody can sue the town if they refuse our ambulance service. It's more streamlined. It's, again, gone through lots of others and wrote it. And so hopefully that comes back soon. It will make our jobs easier and make it easier on the patients and protect the town better.
Have we ever had one before?
A refusal?
Yeah,
Yes,
a refusal
we
form.
have them.
Yeah, okay.
It's just not as comprehensive
Okay.
as I would like, and it's hard, just lots of places to initial that don't need to be initialed. And the refusal, for those who don't know, is if we go to an accident scene or to a home and the person says, I don't want to go to the hospital, we make them sign a refusal and saying, call 911, we're not doctors, we can't see inside you. Town hasn't given me x-ray glasses yet, that's a line I use. But and that this is by their choice, and they sign it that they refuse service. So that if an hour later they decide, oh, I'm hurting, I hurt myself, and now I'm gonna sue the town because they didn't take me in or the ambulance service, they can't. This protects us, so. The last thing is, I went to the grant writing workshop, 2-day thing, very exciting. But it was good information. It was a little boring, but good information. But they suggested for the federal grants, which I want to start applying for in future, looking towards ambulances, things like that, bigger thing. A lot of information about critical infrastructure that will help the case. So I'm going to be making a list to see how many high-powered lines are in our town. How many miles of road that are state-owned versus us, the bridges, the environmental stuff, like we have 1 of 2 fish hatcheries in the state, apparently. So things like that, so I'll be looking for that information from whoever has it, because it's wide variety. So, and hopefully that will help us in our case for grants in the future. And that's it.
Did you, real quick, did you say you needed authority, do you need our approval to apply for the 3 grants, or you're all set?
No, the grants, so these grants, one of them specifically asks for, somebody for the town. I can fill it out, but one of them is looking for support, local support letters. It would be better if I, as the EMS director, wrote a support letter saying, we will do this, rather than applying and then saying, we'll do this. There's no support letter. So I can look at those. If you want me to go and send you the information about the grants that I can actually apply for myself, to represent, I can do that. And
But you could write them and we sign them?
yeah, well, a couple of them are just online forms that you submit and then they send you the form.
Okay.
So I'm not sure exactly what they want yet.
Okay.
The other one has, you fill out online or you can print it and write it out and send it, more specifics about, why community need, things like that. So.
Why don't we make it official that any one of us can sign on behalf of the town if he needs that. We have a motion to that effect, and then whoever's here can sign on behalf of the town if he needs an town official. We've had to do that before, that, certain grants, the only way they could get them, they had to have a town official sign. So why don't I entertain a motion that we would allow any one of us to sign that on behalf of the town?
So moved. What, the select board, you mean?
Any one of the.
Well, that's what I didn't want to hold up is, so I make that motion.
And and then, if we make it official now, then if he needs it, he has it. Okay?
As long as the rest of us know it.
Well, I would assume that any one of us, if we signed it, we would let the other 4 know. I mean, I always do. Whenever I sign anything by myself, I always let you guys know that I've done it. So I would assume that any one of us would do that. So is there a second?
I'll second.
Those in favor? Okay. So if you do need a grant, a signature, call me if I'm not available. Call
Hunt somebody down.
whoever you can get a hold quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, and so I'll delve into them further. I just didn't want to go forward without, because it's a town thing, it's not EMS.
You can pick us up a new ambulance for nothing. We're very much in favor of that. Trust me.
Working on it.
Make sure it comes with white wall tires.
Just for you.
I don't know if it was last night or the night before they paged out rescue, but they paged out MC1 at the same time.
Yes.
Why did they do that?
Because we did not have, our provider called in, they got caught up with their other job at the last minute, and I didn't have 2 providers. Or I didn't have a provider, I had 2 drivers, and I wasn't sure the provider would be able to make it. So I had asked dispatch to page MC1, and then if one of our providers make it, they can cancel the call.
Does that happen very often?
No, not very often at all. So that's the first time in a couple of months that we've had to do that, and it's just because somebody called in at the last minute and I couldn't do it, and I tried to get everybody else to do it and nobody was available. It's hard to drop your whole night a couple of hours before.
Yeah.
So, and it happens very rarely. And MC1 hasn't contacted me at all about that. Nobody has contacted me as the EMS director about any problems with that. It was the policy in the past that it was done. It's always, it's been done like that. So, it's the same as we could have called Wiscasset, or Bath if we couldn't, but, we just did not have a provider that was able to get there. So, which is very rare.
But if they couldn't have come, it would have just gone on to Wiscasset, Bath, or whatever. Yeah. Is that, yeah.
Okay. It's just different, that's all.
Yeah, it happens. Sometimes we've also had where our 1 ambulance is out on a call. We had a driver for the 2nd ambulance and no provider because, they're already on the other call. And we called MC1 for that as well, just to, so that we have someone, because we didn't know if we could get Wiscasset or Bath. We had the ambulance, we had drivers. The other team often at points is cleared up from the other call and been able to respond. But, I mean, our goal is to give our people care 24 hours a day.
So the person from MC1 gets in the ambulance and actually rides to the
Yes,
hospital?
and then somebody drives a chase car behind. Whenever we call MC1 and we have to transport with them, that's how it works out. So if there's an accident they come to, and we have to go to Maine Med, they ride with us, and the chase car follows behind with one of our drivers or someone. So it's, that way we get the paramedic level care, and we get our people get their care, and,
So people get the same treatment, the same care that they would
yes.
anyways, and it works seamlessly.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay. Sean?
6 calls so far this month. Been pretty dry. Hope we get some rain here by the end of the week. Had a pretty good brush fire down in Rustic that we assisted with, and we tried to burn Jason's shop down here last week.
Oh, they might set vehicles on fire.
Yeah, what was the car from?
There was a pickup truck.
Pickup truck had gas line leaking. So crested the hill and she.
Well, that's right, it's right by, yeah.
Right behind the shop, yeah.
Yeah, right by the
Was
shop.
it drivable afterwards?
yes, thank you.
No, they dragged it up onto the flathead, but,
The remnants are still,
yeah, it's dry, it's really dry,
Does
so.
the road need to be repaired?
no, it's all right, it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah.
Picked it down, but I mean, there's some more charred stuff on the side, but.
Yeah.
Winter,
The road a little.
re-roll it, it's all good.
I wanted to echo David about talking about Mike Field. He's very helpful, very responsive. He emails me every time we get a new road in town. And he is helping me track down a master list of every road in town, trying to get that so we can finish updating our fire department run cards.
And you mean public and private?
Everything.
That's right.
Everything we have access to. So he's got a contact with the E911 system that
Years ago, when the fire department came out with one of those, I still have a copy of it.
Yeah.
They provided us all a copy, because it's very handy for us.
Yeah,
Every now and then, somebody calls me about something in the road, and I don't
Right.
even recognize where the road is, and it's nice to be able to just flip through that
Right.
thing and figure out where they're talking about.
Yeah.
I've had people stop by the department when I'm here asking where to find a road, and I'm like, I don't know.
Well, there's been new ones every year.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
There
it's
is
funny.
one of the run report ones downstairs somewhere.
We have the yellow books, but it's outdated.
Well, what's happening, David, is every,
Oh, I know.
literally, there's multiple every year, you know. with-
Like all the shores, like there's so many.
Oh, yeah,
Is that
yeah.
gonna be just a list or an actual map?
No, it's a list. It's a list. It's for dispatch for our run cards. So we divide the town up into
We need a new map.
four quadrants. So
The one they did years ago would say you take this road and turn left onto that road, and it would tell you where it was.
Yeah, we still have copies of those.
So anyway, if you could get us, when you get a final copy.
Yeah.
Make sure
Yeah.
that, get a copy over to the office and we can photocopy it.
yeah,
I have an old paper map of Saginaw County, and it has your road on it, but it has it on the other side of Middle Road.
That's the problem with the GPS thing at Mike. I had a truck
That's
set in Mike
hilarious,
away
really,
today,
yeah.
looking for Sam Moore Road.
Yeah,
I said, you can't get there
yeah,
from here.
yeah, no,
It's
this was
right
Thunder,
there, but
this
you
was
can't get
Thunder
there.
Road.
Yeah.
It was on the other side.
Yep.
Forestry grants all applied for. So there's a new system with the state this year, and it's not as user friendly. I don't have a copy of it because I was going to give you guys a copy of it, but I can't. They send you an email that says you've applied, but you can't print it. You can't do anything. It doesn't have any information on it.
It's a grant.
It's the forestry grant that we apply for every year. So I applied for it. It's up to $9,975 worth of equipment. It's a matching grant, so the town would have to match up to $5,000. We'll wait and see. We should know by mid-December as to what we get. I don't suspect that we won't get everything we asked for, but most of that is radios, pagers, more of the forestry, the gear that the guys wear, and some hose that we blew in hose testing. So that's that. Where are we at with the garage door?
Oh, I have it on my list here.
Is it what?
So did you all see the quote from PDQ on the garage doors? It was just over $4,000 or something like that, right? And that was, so I guess it was Tommy and I and you or whatever met with PDQ that day. And the doors seem to be okay for a few more years, but it appears that he's recommending all new hardware. So the rollers and the hinges and not the track, not the door openers, but I think the torsion springs
Right.
and all that stuff. And all I can tell you is what we got. We got that quote, it's for both doors.
Yeah.
And
Is it in the signature file?
No.
I'm sure, but.
Did I send it to you, or
I
did I
don't
just
know.
send you a text?
Yeah, maybe,
I don't
did you all know
remember
about it, or you don't know about it? All right,
No.
so it's, well, that's where we're at, no decision's been made, it's just over $4,000, don't remember the exact figure, but it was for both doors, you saw it, right?
Yeah.
I saw it, Kim saw it, sorry about that, oh, sorry about that, well, anyway, so that's
Now,
that's up for discussion.
It's just my understanding, that's just that building, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, are we
Yeah, that
still gonna
wasn't-
pursue a contract with them to do
What you heard that day, Sean, was that the guy would put together.
Right, and I haven't seen that yet, I just didn't know if you
No,
guys.
it was a
yet.
PM contract for both buildings.
Yeah.
What he was suggesting was to prevent these unforeseen things, some is to once a year come, but there again, it was a proposal,
Right,
it's a
I
proposal.
don't think we've seen that.
No,
No, we haven't,
No.
that's what I was asking, yeah.
No, this was just the.
Yeah, I need to call Chris this week anyway, cause I need 2 door openers, the buttons for up there. Ones
For
we
the
have, the ones we have, they don't, I thought I could reprogram the ones we have, but I guess they're too old, but.
So I can understand what's going on here. Did they say that this is something that's necessary to do right now for the doors?
Well, so what happened is you all know that one of the doors failed and
Yep.
came down, all that, so they got it going. So we went up there, there was a little bit of confusion whether the doors were bad or not bad or needed to be replaced. So we set up a meeting, and I think you all knew about that, because I sent a text about it. And we went and met, and then it appears the doors would survive some more years, I don't mean 1 year, but, what do you think? I
2 or
mean,
3.
jump in, I mean, you heard what I heard. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it
My
seems
question
like,
is, do we have to spend the $4,000 to make the doors survive a few
it
more
doesn't
years?
seem like an urgent repair.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that way, but this is what he was recommending, and this is where it goes difficult. Because he showed where he put like 2 new parts on and 2 new hinges, and then he explained how it worked, we all know how it works, but things that are giving trouble,
Well, that estimate was for both?
both doors, yeah.
So only the the right-hand door, as you're looking at it from the outside, that's the one that broke, and that's the one that probably.
It's true, Tommy, but if you look at that, you'll see that if they come with a lift and do all that.
Right.
What
Well,
I'm trying to figure here is a cost benefit thing.
I agree.
If we put $4,000 in them, how many more years we're gonna get out of them? If we don't put $4,000 into them, will they go a few more years? And we can budget for it in the future. I mean, this is where I'm at.
Well, when they fixed the door originally, it was said to not use the door much because it was an emergency repair and refrain from using it. Sean moved the fire truck to the other side, and so that we wouldn't use it.
So here's my problem, is I have to put another truck up there, so.
Yeah, right.
That's why I wanna talk about this now before snow flies.
He didn't want to commit to any numbers, and we said, well, what are 2 new doors? And if you go with all new doors, you're going with new doors, new track, new door openers, a whole gamut. So 20 grand is nothing.
Yeah, 20, 30 grand.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm not throwing out numbers, but 20 grand today, I mean, if it costs 4,000 to put rollers and hinges and,
I know. I just put a door on my barn. Mine's a 14 by 14 overhead door, and I had a commercial place put on it, so I can hold,
Yeah.
with no electricity, I can jack it up and everything. It was $4,400.
Is it-
And it's an insulated door.
yeah, like I said, you
And
guys,
that was PDQ. That was
Yeah.
less than 5 years ago.
oh, yeah, same outfit.
So, I'm just wondering why these are 14 by 14 overhead doors.
Yeah,
This is
12 by 12.
identical door. Why they have gone from $4,000 to $10,000?
Fire trucks 4 years ago were half the price they are now.
Yeah, well, so what you can do is this, no decisions been made, you can all look at the quote and go look at the, I mean,
Well, I mean,
I'm not.
if we'd buy 5, 6 more years, it's worth spending.
oh, I personally think that the doors,
Yeah.
I mean, don't you? Did you?
I think if we do it, I think that we'll get another 5 or 10 years out of it.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
the only
we're
spots that
kicking the can down the road, but at least, I'd rather spend $4,000 now than $20,000.
Right,
Well, that's where we're at, because if you look at the doors, there's a new aluminum piece on the bottom.
Right.
There's been new, what do you call it, the seal thing around it.
yeah.
So that was all done recently, we did that recently, a couple of years ago.
it's just those thin spots on the outside.
Yeah, there are some rusty spots and thin
Rusty's
spots.
coming.
Sean's the want you to go up and paint the doors.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the trouble is, huh?
No, he could do something.
No, I don't know, I mean,
I would think that'd be good ladder training.
yeah, so
They could do ladder and brush training at the same time.
we're at this little,
Just didn't-
we're at this little impact, this is where it gets,
Have the
it's
animals there.
it's a little over $2,000 per door, so this is where you're at, so.
All right, why don't we all look at the quote and can put it on the agenda for the next
But
meeting?
you need an we need that.
Well, the door.
Well, I just wanted to bring it up because
Yeah.
snow's coming, so I'm gonna be putting another truck up
So
there.
is it
The
workable?
door works right
How you gonna
now.
put another truck in there?
We always put 2 trucks up there for the
Is
winter.
the county thing going?
What's that?
Is the county trailer going?
No, we always put 2, we put the brush truck up there, we do that every year.
Oh, which is the Ford there.
Yeah, so we can haul that trailer in if we need it. That has all of our road closures, all of our stuff in it. Yeah.
Okay,
So to
but,
answer your question, the door works right now.
okay,
It's just that,
He recommended we don't use the primary, so I moved the truck to the other side, so
Okay.
it's fine, but if I just wanna figure out the plan here.
yeah.
While I'm thinking of it, how much longer are we gonna store the county trailer? It's been up there for
It's
several years
an excellent
now.
resource, though. It has all of our traffic control stuff in it now, it has all of our scene lighting stuff in it. I don't have a problem with it, because it's a benefit to us. It's got 2 generators in it, I mean,
when you say our, you mean the county, right?
yeah, well, we has, so remember the signs that we got from the state? I
Yeah.
put them in that, for Route 1. I asked Phil, I said, can we put them in there just to get them out? I don't have room in the building.
Yeah, okay.
And he's all for it, so we can use that, and I think they wanna get rid of it at some point, so I'd like to explore.
Phil, I had a talk with Phil not too long ago, and he's trying to find money to build a county building, garage or something.
Well, I was just thinking, you know, if we had enough room up there to put like the Beast up there or something, you know.
Oh,
you'd have
we
more
have.
room to-
You have put it.
Yeah, we've done it before, but we put the brush truck, I don't have operators for both of those big trucks, so I have to put a smaller truck up there in the winter time. We had different operators up there, then I could do 2 big trucks up there, but.
Well, Danny comes up with the money for a new ambulance, it'd be nice to get the ambulance down here instead of up there. That's the only
It's
thing.
not going up there. It's too far away.
All right, so good idea. Next meeting we'll
All right,
decide.
so we'll,
So you don't need an answer before the.
No, I just wanted to bring it up, because I
Yeah.
mean, we're getting close to.
I'll
Okay.
look at it.
Yeah, go look at the
Okay.
quote, check it out.
Anything else, Sean?
No, that's, yeah.
Old business, paid family leave. Says it right here, paid family medical leave.
Yeah, Tommy wanted it on the agenda.
Oh, so this is the paid family medical leave, that notice that Kim distributed last meeting had on it, the description of how it works, and that
Yeah.
employees would get up to 0.5% of their pay deducted for the premiums. So I think we need to vote on how much of, is it gonna be all, is it gonna be none? You know, how much are we gonna deduct from the employees' pay to pay this premium?
Okay, half a penny per dollar,
So so the whole premium is
and we
one,
match it,
the
right?
whole premium is 1 cent per dollar, you know, it's 1%. So the town has to pay at least half of it, but could choose to pay all of it, or could just choose to deduct the rest from the employee's check. So,
Right, so,
I'd be in favor of paying the half cent.
well, we have to do that anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I remember. So on $250,000.
Does that cover us?
Oh,
Yes,
It does?
yeah,
Well, it takes
Yes.
it out.
covers
Yes.
you get
pay.
any type of compensation,
Okay.
you have to pay 0.5%.
Yeah, I don't know how much we would get.
Right.
But it'd be
I
that
have no
pay.
problem with getting 4 cents a month out of them.
No, right, so it's 1%. We have to pay a minimum of
We have to pay
0.5%.
half of it.
It
and we-
equates to like, so we have from January to June in this year, so on a $250,000 payroll, it's like $1,250 is
Is a half.
Is a half. Yeah, so, did you have any thoughts on this, or?
It's statewide, so every employee in the state has to pay that 0.05%. I wasn't balking at it at all for coming in out of employees' pay at all.
Right.
I mean, it's not a substantial amount, it's for their benefit to use.
Well, and that's the thing, I
So-
think we need to look at it from the perspective of the employee, right?
Well, if you got-
Everyone benefits from
If you got
this.
$20 an hour, it'd be
Yeah.
10 cents an hour, right? I mean, you look at this 10 different ways, right?
So I had questions about it when it came out because it said on the paperwork, and I've since learned more about it, you know, I know it has to be taken out and everything, but, there's an eligibility. There's a minimum you have to make in the year to even be eligible to withdraw that later. And my concern was, some of my people, this is their only job. they will never get anything from that. They will never be eligible from how it stands now, and it's subject to change in future for the state and everything. But right now, they have to make like 6 times like the 6 times rule to even be eligible to request it, when you can in 2026, and it's, and so my concern was like, we are asking people to pay that extra for something they can never get. Is there optically, and I know we have this, town has no choice, you know, there's that 1%. Optically, for people who are doing this for very little money to have that extra taken out, it's like, you know, okay, now you're taking out more out of my paycheck, which I'll never get anything from. So like people like me, and not that I'm primary concern, I could never access it. I don't make enough the times in a year to access that.
And
No,
I
I don't think you
understand.
understand.
Less than that.
You would have, so the maximum benefit that you can get to use for the paid family medical leave is that statewide weekly average, which is 1143 or something like that. If you times that by 6, your yearly income would be $6,688. So I know you make more than $6,688.
No, but it's, I mean, the reading of it is confusing, and that's why
It
I
is
wanted
very
to clarify.
confusing, and it's hard to wrap your head
I was reading
around.
the thing that said you had to make 6 times in a year the weekly minimum wage to actually
But that's the
access
maximum
that.
that you can
Yeah,
get.
so
So if
I-
you make
My
$600 a
concern
week, yeah.
was, and I know it's gotta be paid, and I know there's nothing, you know, they can do about it, but it is up to the town to pay the full 1% for people as well.
I know that
And that's-
some employers are choosing to pay it, and I'm not sure, you know, I think the library is, right? I believe.
Well, the difficult part with this though is there'll be people that will never use it, right? So this is like a lot of things, it's a big pool, it's whatever.
It's like unemployment.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, so when you talk like, when you say that, it's like, well, we're already gonna ask the taxpayers, which is not a big amount of money, but they're gonna have to come up with 0.5% at minimum, right? So firefighters, many of them have jobs, so it's not just based on the fire.
A
You know
lot
what
of
I mean?
our people have other
Yeah.
jobs it's gonna get, I mean, they'll have that, but we have people who, you know, just work here
Yeah.
only, and they're also living off, you know, retirement or whatever, and so you know, it's my concern as the head of EMS, you know, it's like, I wanna make sure my employees are treated right. And I'm not saying this is treating them wrong, and I'm not saying we don't have a choice. I'm here to protect and make sure, and optically, it's like, hey, you know, we have no choice, or, you know, this is what it is, but just to advocate for people.
I know it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but you said we're gonna owe, what, $1,200?
Well, I'm just guessing on the amount of payroll left in the, yeah,
Roughly about $1,200 for 6 months, right?
Yeah.
So that would be $2,500 a year, right?
yeah,
And then if we pay the whole thing, we're talking $5,000 a year.
that's right.
$1,000 here, $1,000 there, pretty soon you're talking about real money. I mean, this is the taxpayers, we'd be taxing the taxpayer, you know?
Right.
That's a good point.
And that's the way I see it
If it
too.
were a private business, it would be one thing, but being as what we're paying into it is taxpayer dollars.
We have a lot of people in this town that another $100 a year on their taxes means nothing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people in this town, $100 a year makes a big amount of difference.
Well, I think
So-
the biggest argument against the town, against having that deduction, would be if that was going to make working for the town less appealing, because the pay is not as good by 0.5%, which
But
I don't think would be the case.
Yeah.
I don't,
So again, that was my concern, but it wasn't,
My
you know, Kim
only-
explained the thing more, and I read about it more, and I'm like, okay, it makes more sense now. I just wanted to make sure that our people weren't, you know, suddenly having this big extra thing taken out, and it's not huge.
It's not a huge
It's
amount.
like $3 per 600, something like
Well,
that. It's
yeah.
not.
My only earned income is the money I get from the town of Woolwich, okay? $4,500 a year. That's the rest of my income is all unearned income. You know, from stocks and bonds and mortgages I hold and that sort of thing. So I would be paying 0.5% of $4,500, and I'm gonna get nothing out of it. but it's such an insignificant amount of money that I wouldn't want to burden the taxpayer to pay the other half a cent on my behalf, that's all.
But I do appreciate your advocacy on that.
Yeah, and I do too, I understand
that's right.
that. But I think anybody that's working for less than $6,000 a year realizes that they're not doing it for the money, they're doing it for the
Yeah,
benefit
they
of
are,
the
but they're
town.
still, you know, they put expenses into it too.
Yeah.
I mean, we, generally, people who do it for, probably pay more for their gear and their clothing and stuff than they make in the year generally,
The
so it's,
last 15 years, I've paid for a medical insurance on my Medicare. I pay for a prescription insurance that I have never met.
well, you were lucky because
You know, and so
Right.
it's just the way it
if
works.
everybody was as healthy as you, we would be out of business.
Well, I will move that we do our 0.5%,
But we can always change it.
yeah, we can always change it, but obviously, it's like anything else, it's not a lot of money, but we're gonna have to pay for it with something too, right?
Yeah.
So I would move that we do the 0.5% for the town, 0.5% for the
Second.
employee.
Another way to look at it is someday they might make it 3% or 5%.
Right.
And if we're paying half of that, then it starts to add up.
Well, that's what I
don't
too.
know.
In the law, I read it, a few days ago, and it says that there's like this 3-year cycle where they'll reassess the adequacy of premiums. So,
Yeah.
in
and,
3 years,
you know, I
they
mean,
make
it could
it
be-
2% or
It could be
something.
10% in 3 years,
Yeah.
so, and then all of a sudden, we're paying out a lot of money, so. Those in favor? All right,
It's a good discussion.
any other old business, anything, Kim?
Can I ask a quick thing? Do you still want, are we meeting Monday for the?
Yes,
Okay,
at
did you,
4 o'clock.
is it okay, 4 o'clock?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right, we just wanted to know what time we were.
yeah.
Did we put that?
So 4 PM Monday, everybody all good? Excellent, and the only other thing, Kim, I had under old business, we talked about at some point, we don't have to do it until after the holidays, but we really wanna have another meeting with the reval company, right?
Yes.
I think that it's important to find out where we're at.
Yeah, can we do that before the first
Yeah, let's do it early in January.
Is it okay to do it at the first meeting or
I
something?
mean,
I thought they were supposed to be
supposedly,
done.
they're gonna be done in April, right?
No, right, but I mean, we had a couple quick questions about maybe
Yeah.
the utility valuation and
Yeah.
how we're doing, and
Yeah.
maybe Kim has some stuff she wants to know, I don't know. But
They're
That'd
gonna
be great.
really put a push on, they haven't been in my neighborhood yet.
I will say, I've
If it's
heard,
a Debbie's,
yeah, I've heard from a lot of
Mine
people,
like a week ago,
yeah, I've heard from a lot of
but I
people
wasn't home.
that they've been there, yeah, I've
David,
actually.
they haven't been to your neighborhood yet?
Haven't been to my neighborhood.
They've
Really?
been to my house. They
Yeah,
must
they've been to
have
my house, they did a drive-by in your place. 1.8 million.
Oh, one more thing, the tree lighting, the annual tree lighting will be December 1st at 5 PM. I should mention that.
It's a week from Sunday too, folks,
A week from Sunday,
very early this year.
Wow.
Well, that's the first Sunday, and then Thanksgiving is like,
What's the date?
December 1st.
I won't be here. I'm going to Atlanta for Thanksgiving, I won't be back till December 2nd.
Maybe Jason can do
I
the,
plan on attending,
Yeah.
yes,
Jason will fill in.
weather permitting, I plan on attending if you guys don't.
And you
I
can-
You're
think
gonna-
Alan was over there yesterday, putting the tree,
Good,
the
and
lights
you-
on the tree.
And you're MC and Debbie, you know,
and you
everybody.
can do like the David thing,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, okay.
No, what are you doing? Yeah, or what are you doing?
You have to wear the suspenders.
Want me
Oh, I got them on.
Want me to write out the same speech, want me to write out the speech that I've
Yeah,
done
just
for
print
20
it out
years?
again, David.
Absolutely,
speech,
absolutely,
20
heating
years.
fund, yeah, I got it.
Okay, all right, appointment to Special Events Committee, Nick Skillen, I know that guy.
Pretty shady.
I'll make a motion to put him on the appointment to the special events committee.
Second.
Those in favor?
I encouraged him to apply because he does a lot of work.
for a long
He does.
Yeah, he even played, I don't know if you guys know this, but remember this, but he played Santa one year. But
Oh, yeah.
he's been in,
Supplemental tax warrant for Dr. One of the Richard.
oh, yes, I think I'm aware of this.
I trust everybody's seen this, it was in all of our boxes downstairs. Basically, he gave a little bit of property to the
Cemetery.
The cemetery, yeah.
Which cemetery?
Grove Cemetery, yeah. And because it came out of Tree Grove, we're gonna bag him.
I'm on that cemetery committee, we've been working with them for a long time now.
Oh, great.
So, motion to accept Juanita's
So moved.
supplemental tax
Second.
warrant here.
So moved. Okay.
So moved and second, those in favor? Anybody have any new business?
I just thought of it, Kim, that application, you all set with that? I just gave Kim an application for a new member for the
Yeah.
fire department. I don't know if you guys at the board need to approve that or not. She's already on the, what committee is it? I don't remember now.
I believe she wanted to be on the communication, Shannon Ells. Isn't that the one?
Yeah.
Japhet Ells.
Yeah, it's his, no, she's applied
Yeah.
To what?
to, the communications committee, and the minutes this time say that,
Japhet.
It says Jason.
Is it J?
That's the last time.
I've exchanged some emails with him the last couple of days, and I'm talking to him right now, but I don't know about the
so
other.
Shannon's applied for the fire department,
Yeah.
Japhet is applied for communications.
communications.
Gotcha, okay.
So different people?
Have you met
Oh,
with,
Same last name?
last meeting, we had somebody apply to the communications committee, you said you wanted. to
I
meet
reached
with
out to
first.
him, yeah, and he didn't get back to me in time to take any action for this, but I was gonna invite him to a Zoom meeting with the committee before we, so we're good, we can just do it next time.
Sean, do you know how many are on the department now? I mean, just curious, how many are on the fire department? I mean, how many active?
Down to like 24, 25.
Okay, these are-
We've been cleaning house.
Okay, no, I'm just.
Okay, motion to adjourn?
Why didn't we sign this?
Second.